Yo, we back with another episode of Grinding in Cambodia, man. It's your boy Mo.
Yeah, this is John, you feel me? Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Hey, man, hope all is well, man. This is a nice Saturday afternoon. How was your day, bro?
It's alright, you know what I'm saying? I'm still alive, that's all I ask for, you know what I'm saying? Like, real simple.
All right. Where we at, man? Where we at with it, man? We got Mr. China over here, bro. So where we at with it?
Hey, we in my spot, you feel me? Actually, my friend's spot, you know, he's a mentor of mine, and he gave me a lot of advice for, you know, when I wanted to start A-Town Wings, you know what I'm saying? But like I said before, we got a long history in China, so we finna do it the Chinese way, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what people be talking about in the news and stuff like that. We all human beings, you feel me? So y'all gonna be checking out some Chinese cuisine, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna love it. We got some chicken, we got some fish, we got some veggies, we got some fried rice, keeping it real simple, you feel me? Yeah, I got.
So yeah, on this segment, you know, we wanted to give you guys a cool background on both of us. You know, coming from the States, coming from the United States. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. My guy's over here from the west side of Atlanta. So my first question for him is, you know, being from the west side of Atlanta, how did that prepare you to actually live in China, bro? Like, just coming out of like, your tender years, or how did that like set you up?
Hey, that's a good question. Hey, first and foremost, shit. Yeah, first and foremost, hey, we got the chicken right here, Tony OG, you feel me? So
Yes,
yeah.
how you say that? Guy.
Nah, G is Chinese for chicken. Yeah.
Tripping, that's Vietnamese, my bad.
Yeah, but nah, yeah. Anyway, so west side of Atlanta, right? You know, how did that prepare me for China? Yeah, my bad. I got distracted.
It's all good.
In a lot of ways. First of all, where I'm from, you better be respectful. You know, so when I got to China, I was respectful to everybody, regardless of their background and where they came from, and that took me a long way.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the biggest things is respect. I feel like a lot of people that come up in safer environments, they take a lot of stuff for granted. You know what I'm saying? Like life. You feel me? That's not guaranteed. And I also need to say that, like, yo, yeah, I grew up in the hood and all of that, but like I was into the books. I was studying. You know, how do you think I got fluent in Chinese at such a young age? You know what I'm saying? I was, you know, helping my mom, you know, do the chores and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? She came back home to a clean house. You feel me? So it was discipline, it was respect, you know what I'm saying, respect for the elders, the community, stuff like that. And if, you know, I wasn't at home studying, I was at the library. If I wasn't at the library, I was, you know, working at a fast food restaurant trying to get some money, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't out in the streets like that, but I grew up in the streets, you feel me? So
no, that's real. That's real. And what we got here, man? What kind of chicken is this, bro?
All right, so hey, this is Tony OG. So you have, of course, like you said, and like I said, chicken, but you also have onions in it, so yang tong, like Tong Yo Ji, and then like you also have jiang yo, like soy sauce. So it's basically like Tong Yo Ji. So it's like it's telling you what they have inside. You have the onions, the soy sauce, and the chicken. Literally these three things, and that's what it's called. Now next up you have broccoli. You know, that's what we call it back home. You know what I'm saying? But this here is a suang rong, xi rong pa. Okay, so you got like garlic in there as well. It's cooked in garlic and it's pretty good. It's healthy too.
It look healthy. Yeah, we about to dig in, man. Yeah, we about to get it in real quick.
We got a big fish on the way.
Big fish. Man, this garlic broccoli is fire, bro. Wow. So can I dip this in the soy sauce?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, man.
I'm a dipper. You know,
it's your money. Do whatever you want. Check out this chicken here. Look at that. Ooh-wee. Part of it's bone, so you gotta be careful, but it's mainly chicken, you feel me? Really, really good.
So this is the best Chinese spot in Cambodia? Or Siem Reap, that is?
Let's start with Siem Reap, because I ain't really been around Cambodia as much as I should, because I ain't got no money, you feel me? But in Siem Reap, it's definitely the best. It's very authentic. This is what it tastes like back in China as well. Very authentic. And what else, man?
It's fire.
Yeah.
All right, so what we got here, bro? What is this?
Yo, this right here, man. My favorite Chinese dish is here is Duojiao Yuto. So it's like two fish heads. One is like sour, the other one's spicy. You know, that's normally how it is. So it's like it's prepared in different ways. But like, yeah, this is covered in the different spices, right? But like sometimes you'll see like one half red, one half green. You know what I'm saying?
It's colorful.
Yeah, very, very colorful.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, y'all, so believe it or not, this guy used to be a professional basketball player, like NBA, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, according to society, like, you could be considered someone who's already made it. Could you please tell us about that moment and how you felt?
Man, it was a dream come true for me because, for one, being from Detroit, Michigan, I made it a point to my mom, you know what I'm saying, at a very young age. I told my mom, I'm going to the NBA. And I made that decision when I was like 8, 9 years old. But the moment that it happened, man, it was just a dream come true, bro. Because it's like, if you guys follow basketball, you know, David Stern, he was the commissioner of the NBA at one point in time. So it was always a dream because I used to always watch the NBA draft. And when I would see guys get drafted, I'm like, oh man, I gotta do that. I gotta go up there and shake his hand. So that moment to go up there and shake David Stern's hand was a monumental moment for me because I've been watching this since I was a kid. So just to actually watch something that was a fantasy for so long, and I ran it through my head and my mind so many times to actually get to that point, work my ass off, and finally get drafted by David Stern. It was 100% one of the greatest moments of my life. My mom was there, my close friends was there. And, you know, that was the day that changed not only my life, but my mom's life as well. You feel me?
That's what it's all about, y'all. It's all about family. You feel me? Especially moms, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they done clean your dirty bottom and stuff like that, change your diapers and stuff,
Fish
all
tanks.
of that, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, all that shit. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. So, like, did you dress up for it, or, like, you know, like, take us to that day. That day that you got drafted, like, was y'all staying in a hotel down the street? Like, what's up? You know what I'm saying?
So we in Manhattan, June 28th.
Okay.
You feel me? You know, I'm at the Fly Hotel, whatever. You know,
June 28th, what year?
2006.
Okay.
2006, June 28th to it. NBA draft. So yeah, I had the suit, I had the cream, you know what I'm saying, cream, the pinstripes, you know what I'm saying? I was slim. This back when we had the big Steve Harvey suits. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like my suit was extra big and shit like that. It was really big. But my all my boys was there, you know what I'm saying? We met in the lobby, got our photos and everything taken. You know, we throwing up the west side of Detroit.
Okay.
So you know, we throwing up the west side of the photos, and then the limousine picks us up, and then we go to the Madison Square Garden, baby. You dig? And I get drafted first round, 28th to the Dallas Mavericks, June 28th. Look at that, man. 28 has been my lucky number ever since. Well, one of them. So, it was pretty nerve-wracking that day, though, because I was projected to be a first-round draft pick early in the first round, but I ended up getting drafted like later on in the first round. So, nonetheless, man, it was a great experience that day. And we partied like it was 1999 that night. I promise you. You know what I'm saying? We got it in. Yeah.
That's what's up. So, like, you know, take us to, like, all the stuff you had to go through just to get to that one moment. Because, you know, a lot of people, they see the success, or, like, in my case, they'll see my restaurant and be like, oh, you got money and all that, but, like, they don't see, like, what it took to get to that moment. So what did it take for you all those years? Like, when did you know you wanted to play ball?
Well,
just take us through that journey.
Yeah, I started from I was like 8, 9 years old. I really started playing ball around the neighborhood. I didn't start playing like organized until I was like 12 or something. But I think the process itself is always the imagination, man. I teach people about the imagination. I teach children about how important imagination is. I have a book called Me, Myself, and I, how I use my imagination to make it to the NBA. So when I was practicing and working on my game every single day, I always imagined myself playing in the NBA, bro. It was like making the big shots, making the big plays, making the big free throws, hitting the game winners. And I always act like I was playing against Jordan, Allen Iverson, you know what I'm saying, all the greatest players at the time. So for me, you know, just going through the ranks, we did from middle school, playing in AAU, becoming one of the best players in the country over time. But ultimately, man, it was just dedication, hard work, and just believing in myself consistently. I know we hear these things and they become cliche, but when it's all said and done, self-belief got me there, and everything else began to flourish from that point, you know, having people believing.
Two main things I kind of took from that is, like, first of all, for the younger generation, like, success starts here. You got to have your mind right, and you got to tell yourself you're actually worthy and capable of said success. And then, you know, the second thing, you know, any industry, you know what I'm saying, you got to imagine yourself up there with the greats that have already made it. You got to see yourself as possibly on that level, if not better, if you really want to take it to that next level and you want to, you know, be among these guys. You can't be like, oh, I'll never be as good as them. You're not going to make it. You're not going to get to that level.
So yeah, man, I've been checking out your book, bro.
Okay.
You know what I said? It's a great read. You want to tell the title of your book real quick?
Yeah, so the title of my book, actually the second book I wrote and published in 2022 was What Had Happened Was.
Absolutely. It's a great read. I'm about 60% through it. You dig? And one of the things that stood out to me was the idea that we got something in common, brother.
What's up? What we got in common?
I used to live in Kunming.
Okay.
Yeah, Kunming was the Yunnan province.
Yeah, Yunnan province, yeah.
And
Suji Roots, man.
yeah, so it's not as much as a question. It was just more so that I want to bring that to your attention because this right here and everything we just got done smashing, as you see, we went to work, baby. All you see is the soy sauce, and it's done.
Yeah, you see like bones and stuff. It's over.
Bone Thugs and Harmony. You know what I'm saying? So, living in Kunming. What was your experience there, man? For me, it was absolutely phenomenal, man. But when you spent time there, short of, with your buddies and stuff, how did you feel about it?
So first off, Kunming, Suji Ruchun, so like 4 seasons like spring. The whole year feels like spring. Very beautiful place. I just went there on vacation actually, you know what I'm saying? And that was in like 2002. You know what I'm saying? I was with all my classmates who were all Americans, and we were learning like Chinese and the culture and stuff. And so that was when we went to like, southern and western China, to the more remote places. It's a pretty cool experience, man.
That's what's
I would
up.
love to go back.
Absolutely. All right. Speaking of, man, just making it from Detroit, playing ball. You're gonna have to leave some of your old friends behind. You're gonna have to, focus in on what it is. Everybody can't go with you. When I read in your book, you spoke about a phrase, or I would say a condition called survivor syndrome, and I tend to call it survivor's remorse. It's the idea of when you make it successfully, but you still kind of feel bad because your homies is still stuck in the hood and they can't come with you. So how did you, dealing with the idea of you being in China, away from all of the madness in Atlanta, how was you able to eventually overcome what you may call survivor syndrome?
Yeah, that's a good question. This tough, man, because it's not just for like your friends back home, but it's also for family members. You feel me? That can take years to get out of, because you want to be able to help everybody. But after a certain amount of living, you realize you can only help yourself. Now, for me, I was pretty much a nerd. You know what I'm saying? And I did have friends and stuff like that. And, a couple girls like me and stuff. But for the most part, I stayed to myself and studied. So leaving from home to China the first time on my first scholarship, it wasn't too tough to adapt to my new environment. You know what I'm saying? I did okay, but I thought about family a lot. I thought about, even at a young age when I didn't have the means, or the resources, I still thought of ways to try and help back home. So it just takes a while. You get older, you get more mature, you realize people can help themselves. You know what I'm saying? And you find your balance over time.
Yeah, and that's real, because even when I played ball, when I made it to the NBA, the first thing I wanted to do was bring the homies along. And for me personally, it didn't help me. Just having that type of energy around me, and I love my guys, but in the end, I worked myself up to become a professional. But my guys, they wasn't necessarily on that level. I went to college 4 years, I played for one of the most prestigious colleges in the nation. Michigan State University. Therefore, you bring your hood brothers around. It instantly gave me a bad reputation around my profession at the time. So survivor's remorse pretty much it hurt me more than it helped me. So there's no reason, if you're a successful person, you must understand that everybody can't go with you. Okay?
Right. Because you're the one putting that grind by yourself. You feel me? And if you ain't got it, they ain't gonna be around. You feel me? So yeah,
it's real.
Yeah, you gotta be able to help yourself. And now, with that said, what was it like when you got accepted, to your college? What did you have to go through to get their attention?
Yeah, I think the what we call the AAU circuit is it was the main thing is like summer basketball, where every state have different teams and stuff like that. With the best players in the state, we go play against the other best players in other states. Play in tournaments around the country. It's heavily recruited, but the recruiting scene was very intense for me, especially in Michigan, because there's a lot of great players that come out of Michigan. So for me, man, a lot of times, in order for me to prove myself, I had to play against the best players in the country, in the state, in the city. So for me, I had to go in there and do work and get busy. So once I was destroying some of the greatest players in the country, all the colleges started tapping in with your boy. You feel me?
So were you able, when you were in university, were you able to find a healthy balance between sports and academics?
I found a balance, but I never mastered that balance. I would say I found a better balance between my regular student life, my regular college student life, and sports. But school wasn't my strongest suit. Although I walked the stage, I walked the stage.
That's the next question, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
So you got your bachelor's, what I'm saying?
But ultimately, I was a great student athlete, but I love the student body. I love the regular campus life was amazing.
And so, there's different ways to make it in life. There's different ways to be successful, sure. But this dude here, by our standards, by society standards, definitely in America, he definitely made it. And there's no question about that. So given, coming from a guy who's actually made it already in life, what is your definition of success?
The definition of success, I believe at some point in time in your life, you have to begin to create and establish your own definitions of success. You put value. Don't let nobody else outside of you give you a definition of what the value of success, because we all place value on things differently. So success for me is being able to have an idea, fulfill that idea, and put it out. You dig what I'm saying? For me, that's success. Daily success, small success, being able to wake up, brush your teeth in the morning, being able to walk, being able to literally do breathing exercises. For me, success is far greater than any outside validation. Therefore, I attract more success because I define success as some of the smallest things in life. Showing up with you to here today and making it here on time, planning something and fulfilling that plan. You dig what I'm saying? Coming up with an idea to do a podcast, and we're here doing it right now. That's a success for me. You know what I'm saying? No matter what happens outside of this. So the ideas of being able to take the smallest things in life and looking at those things that's success. It's beautiful. So for me, it really it's my personal value that I put on life, because I don't take nothing for granted.
Yeah, that's major right there, because it's like, even for me, like, so, I started this restaurant, I've done a lot of other things in life. This guy's done a lot of things in life, not just basketball. He does music, all types of stuff, video editing, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be working on that later. So, for guys like us and other people in society that really get to that next level, like, you have to, it starts with being thankful for the little things. Because I wake up, I be thankful, you know what I'm saying? I have a place to stay, I have a place to clean myself, I have food to eat, I'm thankful for the smallest of things. And people like that are going to be blessed.
Absolutely. Yeah, gratitude is a superpower. And I recommend that to anybody, you know what I'm saying? Don't ever take anything for granted. And whenever you feel yourself feeling like you're not getting what you want out of life or fulfilling, just go ahead and pull your pen and pad out, write down 3 or 4 things that you're grateful for. And instantly your energy will begin to rise up. You'll feel much better about yourself, because in the end, you have a lot more than you think. You know what I'm saying? So success is what he said, man. Stay away from the idea of trying to go outside of yourself or outside validation for success. Success is what you make it, baby.
Right. This cemetery is filled with people that had opinions, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, with that said now, like, your definition of success today, is it the same as it was before, like when you made it into the NBA?
No, I mean, over time.
How did it change? How did your definition of success change?
It changed over time just because I got a chance to move away from outside opinions and outside validations. And you recognize that people's opinion doesn't really matter as much because it's fleeting. One day they love you, the next day they don't. But you have to always wake up every day and love yourself. So if I'm relying on other people's idea of what success is, based on some sort of program, based on commercialism, based on manufactured success that happens when, okay, perhaps they give you the platform, but they take it away from you, so now you're not successful no more. You feel me? So it's just like, I believe real success is something that nobody can take away from you. So over time, I got a chance to establish these different philosophies for myself, just based off of just trial and error, and really getting a chance to know myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, can't nobody take away from me what I know about myself.
Facts. And I appreciate you sharing that with the younger generation, you know what I'm saying? Because you actually made it by society standards, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I made it a little bit, but like, I ain't there yet, you feel me? So thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So my question for you, bro. All right, this is a real question. Does it spending so much time overseas, you was in the military for 7 years, right?
Yep.
7 years. Is it hard for you to relate to people back home now?
Army. Is it hard to relate to people back home?
Yeah, like the old homies and whatnot? Like,
No, not really, man. I mean, I will say, like, the first few years of being a civilian again, if you will, and you're never going to be like a complete civilian like before, you know what I'm saying, if you're a veteran. Every time it was like Veterans Day, I post something on social media or I make a big deal about it, and it's like the past year or two, it's just like, hey, cool, it's Veterans Day. I don't really say anything. I'm not really vocal about it. So, it takes a while for that to get out of your system because it was a huge part of your life. For me, that was almost 10 years, 2 to 3 years to Afghanistan. I already said all this stuff before. So, no, it wasn't hard for me to relate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it is difficult because, like, there's experiences that we've had that civilians haven't had, and they just don't get it.
Right.
And just the fact, like, just being aware of your surroundings, you know what I'm saying? not necessarily paranoid, but just vigilant, you know, like that's how, you know, we stayed alive, you know.
Right.
And war in movies and war in real life is not the same, bro. You start hearing them shots, you go for cover, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the first thing, you go for cover. You don't go like charging, you know what I'm saying? You don't even know where they're shooting from. You got to figure that out too. You got to communicate, shoot, move, communicate, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know, and sometimes you don't even have to shoot. You just got to use your brain. It's all about everybody in your unit going home together. You know, I'm not trying to be a hero. You feel me?
Right.
So like, you know, we're not doing friendly fire. We're not shooting over our, you know, guys to get to the enemy type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Little stuff like that. You know, there's stuff you got to study. There's stuff you got to practice, you know, before you go out there and actually go fight.
Yeah, so it ain't no Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
It ain't no Call of Duty.
Ain't no respawning either, bro.
ain't no war zone.
Hey, what's up, y'all? We kind of had to move it to the back part of the restaurant because, you know, they got a few more customers, you know what I'm saying? It's booming, you know what I'm saying? So they're ordering their dishes and stuff and, you know, talking and whatnot. So it's a little bit more quiet over here, you know what I'm saying? So we in the back where, yeah, we can play some pool, you feel me? So, you know, I got another question for you, you know what I'm saying? You do a lot of giving back to the community. That's something that I've always wanted to do, but I was never in that position until possibly like recently when I started the restaurant.
Right.
How did you get started, and like what motivated you to get started in the first place?
My mom always had me doing things like that younger. You know what I'm saying? She always had me in like soup kitchens, going to different shelters and stuff like that. So I think early on my mom did a really good job of like showing me how to give back and serve and stuff like that. You know, in church. So, you know, once I made it to the NDA, you know, it definitely put me in position to, you know, different programs to go out to different schools, projects, juvenile centers and stuff like that to actually give back. And then I created a basketball program called the Moiga Hoop School, which is a basketball enrichment program that we have running throughout America. And greater parts of around the world too, man. Yeah, it was a pretty good problem. But for me, it was just about having the heart to do it. You know, I can get to all the logistics, but it's about having the heart to do it. And just taking what I've learned over these years and having, you know, the expertise and just giving it back. You know, and the children, they appreciate it. And it's something that I'm proud of to this day. You know what I'm saying? I will always continue.
Definitely something to be proud of.
Yeah, and this is one of those things when you recognize that, you know, whenever you learn something, you give it away. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't take it with you. So for me, I think it's very important that we add value. Even with this podcast, I think it's very important that we continue to add value to people's lives, for young people, for older adults who might not necessarily understand the life over here or overseas or just in general. So for me, man, you know, it's a thing called the law of compensation, right? It's where you've heard it. You get out what you put in. So therefore, if you're putting out good energy, if you're helping people, if you're putting yourself in position to be of service, you know, it always come back around, and you do it for the sake of doing it, not just because you always want something back. But it is what it is. When you do well to others, well be done unto you, baby.
Now, with that said, you know, like giving back is not for everybody. So, like, what type of person is more suitable for giving back to the community, and what person is not as suitable?
That's a great question.
Like, if somebody came and said, "Hey, I want to help you with your program," and you told them no. Why would you tell them no?
I feel like if it can be some sort of conflict of interest, if it can be if it's along the lines of, it all depends on who it is. You know what I'm saying? That's a tough one because, you know, not all money is good money.
Right.
Not all company is good company, and not all handshakes are solid. So
now, can you give us some examples of that, where like not all money is good money, and so on and so forth?
You know, sometimes you can be dealing with somebody who's actually making their money from a place that can get you caught up.
Gotcha.
Some illegal shit, you know what I mean? That will have you, you know what I'm saying? You know, in some drama. So, you know, certain people, they might not necessarily carry the best intentions. Sometimes they might latch onto you because you might be a light. But if they mix in their darkness with you, they might end up messing up everything you got going. So I think it's very important that you do background checks on people, man. You got to vet people before you start doing work with them because in the end, you just never know what people got going. You know, they might have a lot of bullshit going on, and they might bring you on board, and then somehow you get caught up in it. I've seen it many times just playing ball in the NBA, you know what I'm saying? Snakes, a lot of snakes in the grass. So I feel like it's very important. You just got to vet people, you know what I'm saying? You just can't get in bed with everybody. And that's everything with women, businessmen, you know what I mean, con artists, they all over the world, man. I feel like if you've made it to a certain stage in your development as a professional, you dealt with a con artist before, you know what I'm saying? You've been ripped off. So I'm speaking from experience. So it's one of those things where you just have to really use your discernment, you know.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
So when I was reading your book, bro, something that stood out to me. When you spoke about the idea, this is for the younger generation. For you, how would you explain that hard work and consistency can outbeat talent any day?
That's a good question, man. Like, I believe in like the universe, God, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I believe in energy. So when you want to make a change in your life, especially if it's a positive change, you're going to be challenged. This is the universe's way of asking you, are you sure that's what you want? You know what I'm saying? And that could be for anything, from my restaurant, for like the scholarships I got when I was younger, studying and stuff like that. It's really easy to be led astray if you're not focused.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I want to second that because, you know, I had talent, I had skills, I had natural talent and skills, but other people did too. Other players did too. And there was players that technically had I would say a more package than me. They had more skills, but nobody outworked. I'm here today because I worked harder than most guys that grew up with me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you said in your book, like you wasn't spending your time with women. You know what I'm saying? You was learning your languages.
Yeah, girls didn't like me, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you recognize the idea. You wouldn't have been here today if you had to put all your stock into partying at a young age. So for me, I made the choices at a young age, at 15, 16 years old. Instead of going to the parties, you know, I was in the gym. You know, I took that mentality. And it ended up working out for me in the long run because it gave me the edge. Because while they was out partying, I was working on my threes. You know what I'm saying? I was getting my first step together. I was getting my mind right.
And now you can find this guy on Wikipedia, but those other people, like, who are they? You feel me? So, hey, same thing with my restaurant, man. Like, a lot of people, they didn't believe in what I was doing. Is a lot different than, you know, what's going on out here in Cambodia, you know what I'm saying? So, like, a wing joint ain't something that people are necessarily looking for until they realize, like, that's what they was looking for the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I had a lot of slow days. Sometimes I almost lost it. You know, I became frustrated, upset, but I refused to give up. And every dollar that I had, you know, I would put it back into my business. Every time I made money, you know, and that's the thing. People be like, "Oh, I gave you $6 for these 10 wings." It's like, no, I didn't make $6, bro. Like, I got gas, I got electric, I got more chicken to buy. You know what I'm saying? But like, you just, whatever you're trying to accomplish in life, man, you just got to be focused on that, and you got to put that first. And you got to work on that long enough to where the universe and people just realize, hey, this guy is not going to give up. He's not going anywhere. He's going to do whatever it takes to stay in business. Now, I might get, you know, 1 or 2 orders a day. Now, I can kind of sort of eat off of it. You know what I'm saying? Do a couple of nice things and stuff like that. But even now, man, I don't have as much as I think, you know. So it takes a while to, like, make money to realize you ain't really got it. But, yeah, you have to be consistent, but you have to have a plan that's worthy. And you know, what you're trying to accomplish, it has to be positive and it has to be able to help not only yourself but others as well. And that's how you're going to guarantee that success eventually.
Absolutely. A key thing you said before we move on to the next question, you said you got to stick with it long enough for the universe to begin to see, oh, and I like to use the term anchor. We're here in Anchor Watt, so it's like I utilize that a lot. It's very important to anchor yourself in the space of that you want to be in. Like, if you want to be successful in anything, you have to literally walk in that space. You have to show up every day as if that's your persona. You dig what I'm saying? So that means to anchor yourself. That means that you can't be moved by, let's just say, the results not necessarily being exactly what you want them to be in the moment, because things change. But you must be home for the package to come. If Amazon show up to your doorstep and you get impatient and leave, you miss out on the package. So therefore, stay home, stick to what you're doing, and eventually things will work out.
Hey, I want to add something else, man. Like, people told me to close my shop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want some friendly advice. You feel me? And maybe they didn't mean any harm by that, but like, this dude already made it. I'm still trying to figure out how to make it. So it's like, this restaurant, once it started to take off, it's like I finally have something that's positive, that's clearly a success that I can put to my name, and you want me to give that up. Well, not too long before filming this video, like a couple hours ago, I was like cleaning the chicken and stuff at my shop that I just bought. You know, I just bought the chicken, I was cleaning the chicken, and this kids in the neighborhood, they across the street playing with the soccer ball. The ball went into the street or whatever, it came to my side, I threw the ball back over there. Okay, cool. Next thing you know, they're playing in a way where the balls are going to be back in the street. So I go across the street, tell them, hey, y'all, you know, change the way y'all playing and stuff. That way, the ball goes in this direction and stuff, and they ain't got to go back in the street no more. So if I didn't have that shop, how would I have been able to look out for the kids, And so them being able to see a foreign dude like myself, just look at me, right? So me being able to have a shop to physically be there to, actually look out for the kids like that and make sure they're safe because, they were on their own. Their parents are nearby, but they were on their own in that little area. And so, me crossing the street, being a part of the community, what I'm saying, and just like looking out for them, I don't want any like pats on the back, but I'm just saying like my presence to these kids, I'm a black American, they're young, my children, that's going to do something for people like us coming to Cambodia years later and stuff like that. Like, like these people actually like care about us. But if I wasn't in the community with my own shop to do that and pass that positive energy forward, then what? You know what I'm saying? So my presence in the community, you know what I'm saying? Like it makes a difference, And so whatever you got going, as long as it's positive, don't let people encourage you to give up, because if you do give up, you never know what might have happened the next day or 2 days later. You know what I'm saying? My business started to pick up, like really, really pick up, like a few weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about the decisions that you make. And it's like if I had went this way, my business right now wouldn't be as successful. Whereas I chose to go this way instead. So just don't give up. Success for you could be like right around the corner, but you gotta have a plan. You gotta be smart.
Those are facts.
So, back to giving back, like what was your reasoning for getting involved with the community?
Because they need it, man. I feel like everyone needs a mentor. Everyone needs somebody to show them the way. Everyone needs somebody to give back that type of information, because, growing up, I had people give back to me, certain players and mentors, older people. They came back and gave me information, gave me hope, gave me confidence, because without it, it's kind of hard for those people, those young kids to get it, because, when you're growing up in a inner city, there's not a lot of people that make it out. So therefore, if you see somebody that come back that look like you, it's going to inspire them. You know what I'm saying? So inspiration alone is going to, take them to the next level. And it's amazing at times where players and stuff from my old programs, they reach out to me 10 years later, like, listen, like, Mo, I'm about to graduate from high school. I just got a scholarship to college. Thank you for the work that you put in. So for me, you know how good it feels when a young kid that I worked with, they hit me up later on and tell me that they're doing something special in life later on, and it gives you confidence to continue to move on, knowing that your impact is making a difference. And most importantly, man, I feel like it's the right thing to do. 100% the right thing to do, man. If you find yourself in a successful realm or space, give back. Give back. It's almost necessary. Yeah, it's one of the laws, man. You should absolutely give back and help as much as you possibly can.
But would you agree that, like, before giving back, just make sure you're situated first?
I'm a firm believer in having your cup full before over-exalting yourself. There's no reasons for you to give what you don't have. You get what I'm saying? And there's times where I've done it, but I found myself always on the back end of things when it comes to the idea of over-exalting myself when I really didn't have it. Not to say that, you get what I'm saying, but when your cup is overflowing, oh yeah, go ahead, pass that around, and then get yourself back, replenish yourself, and then, keep the circuit going, because in the end, it's all about circulating divine energy. You know what I'm saying? If you're putting good energy out in the world, it's going to come back around in some of the most prosperous ways you can think of. You feel me?
What was really cool about coming up in the city of Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? I may not be a Grady baby, but like APS from preschool all the way to high school, like I was really there for all of that. Harry Holmes, Grady Holmes, all of that, Egan Holmes, Vine City, you know what I'm saying? Allenton, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like all sides, you know what I'm saying? West side, south side, east side, zone 1, zone 3.
You grew up,
zone
you
4,
from the hood.
Zone 6.
Let me tell you something about the hood. Anytime you're from an MLK Boulevard and you went to a Frederick Douglass High School, that's the hood.
That's the school I graduated from.
Yeah,
Frederick Douglass High. You know what I'm saying?
Every hood had Fred D.
But hey, look, I was only there for 1 year, you know what I'm saying? But if you read my book, you'll find out more. But look, my point is, man, like, coming up through the APS system, Atlanta Public Schools, we had some older dudes, man. They would come and talk to us. They'd be like, if you believe it, you can achieve it. If you're from Atlanta, you done had some older dudes say that to you at least once or twice. Coming up in the 90s and stuff, as an 80s baby. If you believe it, you can achieve it. And it's so true, and it means a lot. These guys, you'll probably never see them again, but they took the time out of their busy schedules, to come to the auditorium and talk to us and give us all types of advice. one African dude was like, yo, because I forgot which specific country he was from, because, you know, Africa's a continent, not a country. You feel me? You know, there's like 50 plus countries up in that, you know what I'm saying? So I forgot which country he was from, but like he said something along the lines of, if you have American citizenship and English is your first language, you can do so much around the world. And, you know, coming from a dude that went on to like actually teach English later on in his life and stuff like that, as an American dude with English as their first language, he knew what he was talking about. So shout out to everybody that's been able to give back to the community, the younger generation, whether they're inner city or in the suburbs or wherever. Like all the young kids from all backgrounds, all socioeconomic backgrounds, they all need help, they all need love. You feel me? Not just from the parents, but also from other members of the community that actually give a you know what. So thank y'all, we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man, we pretty much almost out of questions we have for each other, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, my last question for bro is like, what advice would you give the younger generation right now, like on the spot, like anything you could think of? What would you tell them right now?
Stay close to your imagination. 100%. Stay close to your imagination. Don't let nobody take you away from that, because your imagination was created with worlds. It's what bridges the gaps between where you at now, currently, and where you can be in the future. So therefore, always allow your imagination to go as far as you. There's no limitations to how much you can imagine yourself being in the most amazing possible situations you possibly could be in. The more and more you can imagine these things, you start feeling it. When you start feeling it, that vibration of feeling these things will eventually bring you closer to your dreams. And your imagination is going to bring you closer to the actual action steps that's going to take you closer to your dreams. So that's the main thing for now. If I had to give you one thing, your imagination, baby, keep it close to you, because that's your heart.
Hey, so this is same rate so for the younger kids, man, be careful on that motorcycle, you feel me? Every intersection, slow down. And if you got a friend that's telling you about some illegal stuff, just be like, oh, that's crazy. Don't ask them to elaborate. Next thing you know, you'll be doing that shit.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Crack is whack. All right. And man, we appreciate you guys tapping in, man. It's another episode of Grinding in Cambodia.
Yeah.
I'm Mo.
Hey, I'm John. You know what I'm saying? Hey, real quick, man, in the description below, there's going to be the links to our books. You feel me? Support us. You feel me? Like, check our stuff out, man. You might like it. All right.
Absolutely.
Peace.
Money. Peace. Yeah, that's crazy, because it's like when you like really chilling in your own world. Yeah. Shit, man, the quality solitude is like, it hit different, bro. It just hit different. And it's not like isolation is forever, but it's definitely necessary for growth. You feel me? Chilling in my own world. Chilling in my own world. Chilling in my own world.